What's up, guys? It's MB Boxing, and I just finished up watching Gary Cully versus Miguel Vazquez, and this was a 10-rounder in the lightweight division, and this fight was Saturday, March 12th, from the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham, England, and this fight was broadcasted on DAZN, and in this fight, Gary Cully was able to get a 5th-round knockout victory over Miguel Vazquez. So leading up to the stoppage, this bout scored 39-36 in favor of Gary Cully. So, yeah, this was a very, very solid performance from Gary Cully. Definitely the best opponent he's taken on so far. I thought it was going to be like a really, really close decision for Cully, but no, he was able to drop Vazquez twice and stop him. So, yeah, the only round that I did give to Vazquez was round one. It was sort of a feel-out round more that either man really could have won it. But then from there on out, I gave every single round to Gary Cully. And speaking of some of the big moments in the fight, in the third round, Gary Cully landed a perfectly placed left hand, and it wasn't even like it was a big power shot. It was just a perfectly placed and timed shot right on the chin of Vazquez while he was running in, trying to go for some shots of his own. He got caught with a perfectly placed left hand. He went down, and yeah, it was just a very good flash knockdown. An extra point for Cully, obviously, being that it was a 10-8 round. Then the fourth round, another solid round for Cully. He might have had Vazquez hurt a bit there. I can't really remember what shot he hit Vazquez with, but Vazquez was sort of running around the ring a bit, and he didn't look really too solid on his feet. But then in the fifth round, Gary Cully landed a perfectly placed 1-2 down the pipe, sort of on the cheek of Vazquez. Vazquez sort of did a dance and went down. He was wobbled, then went down. Then, he touched the canvas, in the third round. It wasn't really the biggest like knockdown, but it was obviously a knockdown, but it wasn't like he was flat in his back or anything. But in the fifth round, that was the big knockdown and the big knockdown that led to the stoppage. So after he landed that 1-2, Miguel Vazquez went down. And he stayed sort of on his back a bit. Then he went on his knee and didn't get up because he knew that he could not continue in there if he was getting dropped with those shots, and the referee waved it off. It was a very, very good stoppage, very, very good win for Gary Cully, definitely the best victory of his career thus far. So, with that being said, what is next for him? Now, still undefeated, I believe his record is 14-0. This is a very solid victory over a former world champion. I know Vazquez isn't in his prime, but he was just coming off a couple of decent fights. I mean, even against Louis Ritson, coming off a win over Oliver Flores. I mean, he's coming off some very good victories. Or going into this fight, he was coming off that win over Flores, and this is for Vazquez. But yeah, for Cully, this is a very solid, very, very good victory, and I would like to see him against someone who's in the top 25 in the lightweight division, and that could be someone like a James Tennyson, that could be someone like a Giovanni Strephon, it could be someone that's very solid, someone top 25, top 30, maybe even just top 20 in the weight class. A very good opponent. I think that he's really due for next based off of this very solid and very good knockout performance. But as for Miguel Vazquez, I believe this is probably like his 11th or 12th time losing here. Um, yeah, I honestly do not know what's next for him. I mean, he's 35 years old, been around, former world champion, fought Canelo twice, has over 50 fights. I mean, he's got a very solid career. But yeah, losing here once again, over 10 losses, I believe so. I mean, he probably won't retire, but I mean, most fighters will, but he'll probably continue fighting. He'll probably take on a few lower level opponents in Mexico before possibly getting a decent opportunity on like a DAZN card like this, something like that. But I definitely think he should fight some more prospects in the near future. That's probably what's next for him, because he's normally used to fighting these tough fights, and I mean, he either wins them or either he loses them. I mean, it's really just like that. I mean, he's really got a lot of fights against these top prospects. I mean, he fought Jukambayev, fought now Coley, fought Louis Ritson. I mean, he's fought a lot of guys in the past few years. Although he's lost in those fights, he still put up valiant efforts. But this one was really the most dominant we've ever seen him lose in the past couple of years. So, I mean, he should definitely ponder retirement, but who am I to tell him? He's really the decider of his career, his own career. But he'll probably take on some lower level opponents before taking on maybe a decent level prospect like this. So overall, Gary Cully drops and stops Miguel Vazquez to get a 5th-round knockout victory and to stay undefeated and to get the best victory of his career thus far. And yeah, that's really it. I'm MB Boxing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.